With a big matchup looming in Tuscaloosa this Saturday, there's one aspect of Vanderbilt's defense that not a lot of people are paying attention to. This Alabama unit is going to have to step up and do it again if the Tide want to win this Saturday. Stick around. Let's talk about it. This is Way Offsides. 3, 2, let's go. Hey, good morning, good evening, good afternoon. Welcome to Way Offsides. That's Way with 4 A's. 3's not enough, 5's too many. Just like in the word Alabama, if you're not excited enough yet, get excited because Bama plays tomorrow, baby. Let's go. Alabama gets their chance to slap back the Vol. Excuse me. I'll explain why I said that in a second. The Vanderbilt Commodores. I tried to say Vanderbilt and Commodores at the same time and ended up with Vols. Weird. Anyway, Alabama gets their chance to slap back the Commodores of Vanderbilt after an embarrassing loss on the road to them last year. This is a bigger, better Vanderbilt team than last year. I'm telling you that right now. This game may not go the way a lot of Alabama fans think they're going to go. I've seen some score predictions of 42-10, 56-17, just some wild numbers out there. I don't think it's going to go that way. My official prediction is 38-31 Alabama. I think that Diego Pavia scores a late touchdown to make it a little bit closer. Vanderbilt covers. And there's a reason for that. I think that Alabama is going to give up some big chunk yardage on the ground as they did against Georgia. I think that trend will probably continue unless Kane Womack magically figures it out in just a couple of days. I got to see it. Got to see it, right? As I'm sure you do too. But anyway, moving into this game, Alabama, offensively at least, played lights out at Georgia. They played a very, very good game. Obviously, Ty Simpson, wide receivers, played a good game. But on top of that, the offensive line played amazing on Saturday last week. Now, Alabama they absolutely have to continue that trend of how well they played because Vanderbilt is no slouch in the pass rush department. As many people would want you to think, they aren't. They're actually very, very, very good. Their passing defensive stats rank in the top 20, I believe, top 20, top 25 of the country, along with familiar names like Oklahoma, Tennessee, Auburn. Now, you may scoff at that, right? Tennessee always has a pretty good pass rush. Auburn, outside of their offensive issues, Auburn has a very good defense, possibly the best overall defense in the SEC right now, at least this far into the season. Vanderbilt comes into the game, I think, with around 14 sacks on the season right now. To put that into perspective, the leader in the country is Tennessee, who has 20. And so Vanderbilt is going to try their best to get to Ty Simpson and impact him and affect him in this game. The offensive line is going to have to do what they did against Georgia again. Now, Georgia, for instance, let's look and see where they are on this list. They did not, I don't think they recorded a sack against Alabama. Florida State is up there with 10. Georgia has not had a very significant pass rush this year. They're way on down here, as is Alabama. Georgia has 5 sacks on the season. Alabama has 5 sacks on the season. So, yeah. So the offensive line is going to absolutely have to step it up. Now, Vanderbilt has been playing lesser talent, lesser opponents. The best team they played is South Carolina, and that was a South Carolina team without Lenora Sellers. However, the mentality of this Vanderbilt team is going to go a long way. And so Alabama's offensive line better be up for the challenge, especially the right side of that line. Now, I've seen Ty Simpson against Wisconsin. He threw under pressure several times, and he did a great job with it. He's probably going to find himself in position where he's going to have to do that a couple of times this week. I'm confident in his ability to handle that. However, getting hit, getting pressured a lot eventually can play a role on your psyche. We saw that in the FSU game. Simpson looked pretty poisoned and controlled for a while, and eventually it just kind of all broke down because he was running for his life the entire game. They're going to play a pass rush that on paper is very similar to what Florida State brought to the table. They're actually better than what Florida State brought to the table. Now, that is on paper. Okay. I want to be very clear about that. Like, we're talking about teams that have played very different opponents, right? My bigger point is that Alabama's offensive line has to play as well as it did, if not better, at Georgia. And Alabama fans have to stop taking this Vanderbilt team lightly. All right. There's still, it's crazy to me that there's still people who see this Vanderbilt team as who they were 15 years ago. Clark Lee is a completely different kind of head coach, and he has got this team trending, rolling, rumbling, bumbling where he needs to be. I'm going to go and tell you guys right now that if Vanderbilt beats Alabama in Tuscaloosa, Diego Pavia is going to then be the favorite to win the Heisman Trophy. And Vanderbilt's going to be in, as of right now, will be in the playoff talk. That sounds funny to say out loud, but it's absolutely true. They'll bolster up into the top 10, and they will be a playoff team as of the end of this week of college football. Do not take them lightly. Caden Proctor is going to have to have a very, very big game. I think, they'll probably try to attack both sides, but they understand what we see with Proctor, that sometimes he can be a little slow when he's having to move laterally. And so there's going to be a lot of pressures on these tackles this game from Vanderbilt. I'm sure that they're going to design some exotic stuff to make it very, very difficult on Alabama's offense. And that's what they did last year, right? Alabama really couldn't sustain a lot of drives. They couldn't keep the ball in their hands. They scored a lot of points, but they were scoring quickly. But Alabama's got to play time of possession here, right? They've got to get the ball out of Diego Pavia's hands and keep him on the sideline. They're going to have to do it against what looks like on paper, a very aggressive pass rush. Maybe with that pass rush, they'll be able to run the ball a little better. That's what I think is going to happen. Spoiler alert. Anyway, let me know your score predictions down in the comment section below. As always, while you're giving me that, sorry, I am off today. Please leave a big Roll Tide in the comment section. Like, subscribe, do all the things. Hit the notification bell so you don't miss anything. Got a recruiting video going up later. A bunch of recruits going to be in town. I know you guys love recruiting. You'll absolutely want to check that out on top of everything else. As always, say your prayers, read your Bibles, wash your hands, horns down, beat Auburn and LSU and Tennessee to Roll Tide.